Woohoo! We're live again. Okay, when you get to the insert, wiring the insert, as you can see in this poor old Flash Gordon, a lot of the parts in here are actually rusted. And again, this is another place where not to cheap out on a restoration. Replace these sockets. They're 50, 60 cents a piece. You know, it's worth the extra effort. And again, take a lot of pictures. The displays, they come out, everything comes off. And what you'll end up with is a display that looks like this one.
I'm going to hold it, Dave.
Yeah, if I can get this, it's latched. Okay, I got it unlatched. We'll kind of try and hold it a little bit.
Yep.
So anyway, this is what the front side of the insert looks like when it's naked. Everything pulls off real easy. And again, if you throw it into a rotisserie, it makes it so much easier. It's about a gazillion times easier. Flip it back over. You can see all the holes where all the staples were. Where the staples were is not a big deal. It really doesn't matter.
Those are purposely not filled. I have seen people fill that, and if you really want to get, crazy with a resto, you can do that, but that kind of helps you, when you're running your wire, helps you figure out where to go right back.
Some of the older Bally's, they used 18 gauge solid core wire. If you're putting in new lamp sockets and you're using 18 gauge solid core wire, it can be a little bit difficult to get everything to solder up nice. What works the best that I've found, and is in most of the rest of your pinball machines, is going to be a 3/32 braided, tinned copper braided wire. And this stuff it's amazing to work with. It'll let you do anything with it. You can bend corners, go around stuff, and it's pretty simple to do. And I like to make my drawing. Yeah, I take a lot of pictures. Yeah, I have a reference. I take a piece of paper and draw it out, and I go, oh, okay, well, and you're going from socket to socket to socket. The other nice advantage to using the tinned copper braided wire is has anybody ever used copper wick to desolder with? Okay, all right. Copper wick, when you desolder with it, it sucks up the solder. So if you're putting this onto a lamp socket, it makes a great connection. And it makes it so much easier to solder it in. What we've got, what we found, what Ray found, I should say, is this air stapler is a crown molding stapler primarily, and it's primarily used for boats, for marina. And this thing is the cat's pajamas, and Ray's going to give me the first show of how to use it, even though he's watched me use my electric piece of crap stapler many a time. And I'm going to hold wires, and we'll let everybody come up and nail some wire into my my insert and have a little fun with it. So let's get a reference. And
this stapler, you can get it a couple different places. I've honestly found that eBay is the best place. This is brand new from a company on eBay. I'm trying to remember the name of the company off the top of my head. It's a Ski World or something like that. It's a furniture stapler. That's what it's used for. So marine upholstery, but regular upholstery too. But the key is the long nose. Okay, that's what you're going to need to get in and around some other stuff. This, not so much. It's the only thing. But as you start populating other things, you need to staple, whether they be lamp sockets, whether it be whatever down, you want the long nose.
The store was selling one with an even longer nose on it that was actually used in the factory, and I just wondered what the difference in price was.
This was $90, I think.
That's how much they wanted for theirs. It was a factory instrument.
Go right ahead. Yeah, I mean, this seems to work, and it worked like a champ. $90 shipped.
Is that the same one? That's what I was wondering. I know mine hasn't come out of the box yet, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I be honest, with you, I haven't seen a longer, when you please, and when you get a chance, come up, I have not seen a longer nose than this on a standard. I'm sure you could probably order something super special, but this is a long nose stapler. The other ones are a shorter nose, and they're probably about that, that big, from this way. So, but it works like a champ. What you looking for, Dave? Oh, good question.
I forgot them.
Yeah, me too. Yes, sir.
We've used the T50 staplers.
Yep.
And the only downside is that you then have to tap the staple in the rest of the way with a cold chisel.
Right, and try doing that when you've got about 1,000 of these things to do. This literally, he did that with that. Now he used.
But the small guy, the guy who's doing one, may not want to spend $90 on an air thing.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. You could
Hey,
actually spend $25.
I'm a tool
on
whore.
Yeah.
I'll spend $90 on a tool in a heartbeat.
Existed, I know it's fine.
Oh yeah, I guess we should preface that he absolutely did use the regular T50 stapler. That's what was used on that, and it was a nightmare. Just the same exact thing. You hit every one of them, and then you had to go back behind and you do it, and it was a real pain in the butt. Yeah. So.
Well, we're only going to do it. We're going to pop I lied. We're going to pop a couple of these simply because I forgot my cutters. I thought I had everything. I thought I prepared well, and I kind of failed. I'm in shame. So let's
Where
just.
do you want 'em?
Well, then I'll have to go back upstairs and get some cutters to cut it. But let's run this. Let's run this one. Here.
Oh, he's got cutters.
Ooh, we might be. Hey,
It might be a business.
hold that thought.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. You are so kind. All right, we're back in business. Thanks, AV guy. All right, so we're back in business. And that is that set right there,
Okay.
which the top is the short piece.
Okay.
Now, when you're doing your braided wire, I know that I need a piece about this big, which is kind of hard to see. It's about like yay. And I don't want to cut that yet.
I got you.
I want to staple it in place first.
Make sure I got some staplers.
You got
in there.
bullets in there?
Yeah, I do.
Ain't
She's
no
loaded.
bullet, ain't no bullet came out of there. I'm not crazy. Try that again, Holmes. That came out that time.
Yep, that came out.
And you missed it. You hit the socket.
This one too, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's how simple it is. Who wants to give it a shot? Don't be scared. Come on up. Give it a shot. Worst case scenario, if you do something that I don't like, I'll just pull it out and do it again.
Yeah, I mean, if it helps you any, I just screwed one up.
It's not like you're going to hurt anything. Okay, so what I just did is I just did this. This is my reference right here. I did this piece here. Okay, so, and of course we're looking at this backwards because it's upside down. And so we'll go, let's do this one right here.
Okay. Just goes across to two.
So you go 2, there's the third one, and then 2 more.
So you're going to go across these two, right?
Across those two and just those two?
Should
on
just
Yep,
be those
on
two,
the
right?
top.
Should be those two right there?
And you need to go on these.
You want to?
I'll hold it.
Ray will hold it for
I'll
you.
hold it, buddy. You go ahead and
And-
you get the gun.
You're going to bring it.
You want
Just
to
like
reuse
that,
the holes?
exactly, right,
Okay.
exactly, right
Don't,
between
don't worry about the holes. Let up a
Yep.
little bit. Okay. So if you were to come, say like that, that's good.
Yep. And yes,
And
the
Ray
answer
will
is-
hold it for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, the answer is yes, you can reuse those holes.
Yeah, you can. You don't need to. It's not a big deal.
There you go.
You want the middle or just back
Just
over?
just
at the
back
other
over
way?
right there. Yep, right about that.
Go now.
There you go. There you go.
Wow,
And that's
that
it.
is easy.
And you see
Hey.
how it kind of sinks right there? It's not moving at all.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah,
else want to
yeah.
give a chance? Give a shot?
It's
This is a hands-on demonstration.
I like hands-on. I do.
Oh, that was
Come
me.
on
Like
up.
I
Don't
said,
be
it's been
don't
a
be
day.
don't be
The
scared.
first one it didn't shoot out, so I shot the second one.
Yeah.
It happens.
All right. So hang on a sec, let me
go
come over
get
and get a
the next
reference.
one.
How much pressure are you running off the air gun on the air?
I think at the moment it's probably at about 120. You can run it at 90. I
Okay.
just didn't
So
dial
top
it
two.
down. But the other thing is you can also take a
Those
look and see where
are-
it's countersinking. It's barely going into the wood, so it's it's doing all right.
And it didn't
That's
kick
gonna
back.
be
I was
these two up here.
No, not at all. It's so awesome as a.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and give you the other end. Okay, and I said, what, top? Yep. Yep. Okay. So basically, you're looking at right there to there.
You could just
Ray,
dial it
Ray will
up.
hold it for you,
I'll hold it.
and the gun's on you?
I do have 10 of these, but I'd like to keep the.
That's, hey, whatever. 10 of these. What's she gonna do, staple
There
you?
you go.
Wuss.
I just want to hand that to you and get my toes out.
All right. So see where those holes are right there? Right? So right about there? Yep. And you're just going to push down and go. Perfect. Exactly. And then just do, yep, go right ahead. There you go. That's all there is to it. Dave, was that the only, just the two of those?
Does everybody see what I mean? I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a tool whore. I like tools.
Yeah, I will tell you that when I did my, I'm in the process of Space Invaders Restore right now. And I just finished the insert up a couple weeks ago before I flew out here. And I'll tell you that to do this entire, I had my computer sitting right there with my reference picture because of course it looked like this when it was done. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I think it took me 10, 12 minutes to do this.
Would only took him 8, but he kept texting me.
Yeah, look how cool.
Is this right? Is this right?
It was more like you need one of these, but
No, that was the next half-hour text.
yeah. So I proceeded to buy him one for his birthday. But
That's a good question. The 3/30 seconds wire is not ground braid that you find at Marco or Bay Area. Ground braid is a 1/4 inch wide and pretty easy to find. Marco has it, Bay Area has it. We found a spot, again, Ray,
yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Minuteman.
Minuteman, that's it. Minuteman.
Something.
Yeah. If you Google Minuteman and ground or Minuteman and 3/32 braid or something like that. it'll come
3/30
up.
seconds tinned copper braid. You want to make sure that it's 3/30 seconds. If you actually go to an 1/8, it's too big, and you'll have problems. So be specific. 3/30 seconds is what you're looking for.
Now you can, if you go to pinrestore.com, they do have it on there. It's $1 a foot, so it's quite pricey. This stuff is a 1/4 a foot.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather pay $1/4 than $1. I like supporting my fellow pinball restore brethren, but I'd rather spend 25%.
Me, I got lucky. I hit eBay one day and I found like 50 feet for like $10, and I was like, hey. So,
Why is the extra 32nd of an inch give you so much trouble?
because of the look how tightly some of the stuff goes around there. It just doesn't fit. You wouldn't think that 1/30 seconds makes a big difference. Believe me, when you're trying to go in and out, and not so much on an insert, but when you're in the actual playfield, that's where the big difference is in the playfield. You have a lot of lamps that are right next to assemblies, and you have to run that wire next to that assembly, and if you jack it up onto the assembly, you're pumping 5 volts into there, and you blow something. I wouldn't say that I know that from experience or anything.
What length of staples do you use?
3/8. 3/8 by 3/8 staples, and these are the original size. If you pulled out one from an original insert and you match, these are the exact same size as came out of the insert to begin with. Yeah,
Yeah, it's yeah.
Do you just buy plain steel ones, or do you use?
I use the galvanized. They do sell stainless. It's more expensive and doesn't really make any, I mean, again, these are,
There is no advantage to stainless.
no, I mean, like I said, it's not going to corrode, right? I mean, these aren't sitting outside. They're not,
Unless they're on your patio.
you're going to be okay.
We have run into a problem where folks have had, that's where they store the pinball machines, which is kind of odd. That's where my Gorgar came from. It came from Wenatchee, and this older couple had 3 pinball machines out on their patio, and that's where they stored them. One of them was a Paragon, If anybody's familiar with a Bally Paragon, it has over 150 lamps in it. And of course, the sockets are always bad. And when they brought it to me, it had probably 7 working lamps in it. It had probably 100 working bulbs, but only 7 of the lamps actually worked as they were designed to work. And as payment for repairing this Paragon, they gave me this Gorgar. And as I started testing the boards in the Gorgar, I thought I was doing something wrong because all of the chips were testing bad. Well, it was sitting on their patio. They took a lightning strike. Wonder where that went. I found a good chip on there. So for about $37.50, I have a gorgeous Gorgar that does not sit on a patio anymore.
Where do you get your lamp sockets?
That's a good question. Lamp sockets,
Resource sells very good quality ones.
unfortunately with lamp sockets, you get trapped with a lot of Costco pricing. And what I mean by Costco pricing is if you buy 1, it costs you $10. If you buy 10, it costs you $11. So, I love Marco to death, but that's not the place to buy your sockets. My recommendation on sockets is Pinball Resource. My recommendation on lamps is different though. You know, lamps, I recommend Pinball Life. Just as much as I'm a tool whore, I'm a whore for a good price too. Best bang for the buck, right? So I shop around, and Pinball Life is by far the best place for regular bulbs, 44s, 47s, 555s, 89s, 68s, and they also sell them in 100 lots. So if you buy 100 number 44s, I think it's like $750. You can't beat that anywhere. Questions?
What brand is that?
Eco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just about everybody is selling Eco. Very, very rarely do you ever see GE anymore. If you do see GE, usually it comes off of eBay. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. What else can we tell you? We've got about 2 minutes. Tips, tricks.
So you're talking about source and parts, the sockets you use for your coils. Where'd you get those? Those are Mauser?
I'm sorry?
The sockets you use
The
for
Molex
coils?
or the amp sockets.
The best place that you can actually get those is most likely Mauser.
Yeah. What type of sockets are they? What are they?
Those are Molex .093s. They're a KK series, and I use several different various sizes because, for example, the 4-bank drop target that has a 9-wire, and so that's got a 9-wire connector, male, female. And then I try and differentiate on the 2-wire ones so that you can't plug in the wrong thing to the wrong place. So sometimes I'll use a 2, and then right next to it, even though it only has 2 wires, I'll use a 3. Hey, I'm human, I forget. Sometimes I get tired, sometimes I get sleep. If it don't fit, then I can't screw it up.
Yeah, that's a good method. That's why they key so many connectors too.
Right. Exactly.
3/32 pins?
No. On the pins are .093. Molex brand, male and female.
That's 30 seconds.
330 seconds is a wire braid.
Well, that's the same size.
.093 is 3/32 of an inch.
Is
You're
it?
right. Actually, that's .094.
Oh,
You're absolutely
okay.
right.
Oddly enough, I'd never done the math on it because we don't reference it that way. We have the most common pins that you'll find in pinball machines are .093, .084, and .062. If there's anything else in there, it didn't come stock. And again, Mouser's probably your best bet. In some cases, even for pinball machines, if you go to the video resource, such as the real Bob Roberts, sometimes he has those connectors made up and they're a little bit cheaper. So for $1.50, you can get a 9-pin, male and female, with all the pins for $1.50. Sometimes that turns out to be a little bit cheaper.
I'm worried about connectors. If you're ever working on an old Black Knight pinball machine.
They have two
they
24-pin
two-
connectors. One is black and one is white.
Not always.
Well, one is
Early
blue
on,
and one is
they made
white.
them all black, or they were all white. one
Sure.
year. So you mix them up and you blow the board.
Blow the board.
So
Very common.
always keep a marker pen in your pocket for when you run into a black hole or a
Black Knight.
Black Knight, yes.
You also have that problem on firepower as well. There are two 24-pin connectors in there, and if you hook them up backwards, you will know.
One thing you can do is take a couple of those .93 pins and put them in backwards in the empty slots on those connectors,
They don't actually, well,
so that you've got males trying to plug into female, so that or a male to male on the unused pins. You put a few of those in, so that even if you're blind drunk, you can't plug them in.
the best thing that I've found, the best solution that I've found to that is to take a colored zip tie, whether it be white, green, pink, fluorescent, green, yellow, orange, and put one on the male and one on the female, and leave the other one naked. And there you go. Because they're just on there. They're not actually doing anything. And if you've got one that's got two zip ties on it, you're good to go. You got one with no zip ties, good to go. Yep. Well, thanks for everybody for coming. Let's go play some games.